In this video, we'll be looking into the third module of Agile Technologies subject. So that is practicing XP, collaborating, and releasing. So firstly, starting with the first topic, that is pair programming. Pair programming, by definition, we can understand that two people are working in a pair, and they have been allotted a particular task. So this was informal definition. Let's look into what's written here. Practice where two programmers work together at one workstation. So in pair programming, one person who writes the code is called driver, okay, and the other person who tests the code is called navigator. So driver will lead the way and navigator will follow him or perform the secondary task, okay. So this practice is a core part of establishing balanced collaboration between the pairs. So in XP, pair programming is one of the main concepts. So while execution of XP and implementation of XP, benefits of XP, we have spoken about pair programming in the second module, right? So that's what the importance of pair programming is. Looking at the benefits now. So first one we have is enhanced problem solving. Enhanced problem solving means when two people are working together, thinking together, of course they'll come up with better solutions. A person might be good at technical thinking, another person might be good at having a creative outlook, a better creative outlook. So all these different aspects, they help to solve the proper efficiently, to come up with better solutions. Then we have collaborative thinking. Yeah, again, that's what I told. When two people are coming together and thinking on the same particular topic, we can come up with better solutions. Then we have as improved code quality. Improved code quality means I might be following a strategy to write a code and you might be following a strategy to write a code. But then me being a driver, I wrote something, and you being a navigator, you told this is not right, this could be changed. There is an efficient way or a shorter code or an efficient code to write for this particular task. So that's what it says, real-time review. When I have a partner with me, along with me, who's always there to share his knowledge or rectify me wherever I've gone wrong, it becomes easier to give a better code as a output, right? So that's what we speak about, real-time review. So by having a partner, it is easy to review the code, catch any errors in the real time. Then knowledge sharing. So by knowledge sharing, again, we exchange our knowledge, we share different what could be the methods to write that program and all of that. Then we have is enhanced collaboration. So when two people are working together, they'll of course have communication of one among them. So better communication leads to better collaboration. So shared ownership. Shared ownership means if there is any default happening tomorrow for that particular task, then not just one person, both the people should be held responsible. Okay, that's what shared ownership speaks of. So when people have shared ownership as their responsibility, they'll tend to work properly. They'll tend to give their best as an output. Okay. Then we have increased productivity. Increased productivity is again when two people are working together, even if one person diverts from his or her particular task in the middle of a day while working at an office. If your partner is very devoted, he'll be like, hey, concentrate on your work, do it properly. That's what sustained focus speaks of. Okay, it's not exactly what sustained focus is, but then simpler terms I'm explaining you. Okay. Then we have flow state. So flow state means when having a partner, it'll be easy to follow a set of instructions, follow a set of tasks which have to be done properly. And if at all I get stuck anywhere, the other person would be there to help us out. Then we have positive peer pressure. Positive peer pressure means there will be a person along with me to encourage me if any error occurs. He'll be there to encourage me, rectify me, and help me out throughout the process. Then I have accountability. So pairs hold each other accountable, ensuring that the challenging tasks are completed with proper attention. Okay. Then we have continuous development. So continuous development means not just in terms of the project, but then there'll be intrapersonal development also. That is skill development. While working with a person who's good at web development and I'm good at AI/ML, so I might be able to learn the web concepts here, right? So I'm developing a new skill here, exposure to new technology. That is new technology I'm learning, and faster problem solving. By doing so, it will be easier for us to solve the problem efficiently and quickly. One more thing here. Pair programming need not be between two people only. It could be between two pairs, or it could be between n number of pairs also. This is not written here, but then yeah, again, it's an important topic to write. Okay. Next, looking at how to implement the pair programming. So in order to implement pair programming, we should first set up the preliminary state. Okay, that is we have to set up the workspace, tools, and a proper workspace should be devoted. right? So like the workspace should obey all the it should be proper, ventilated, and well connected with the other partner. And what are the tools which we'll be working upon? So both the teammates should sit together and then mutually come up to a conclusion that we'll be working on so and so software or using so and so tool. Then having proper setup again refers to the workstation which you have. So if you are sitting in one corner and your partner is sitting on the other corner, it'll not be efficient enough, right? So that's what setup. First step is to set up all the basic requirements. Then you come up with role management. Here you define the role. Okay, I am good at so and so domain and you're good at this domain. Let's work together. Anta. They can come up with a role definition. Along with that, there'll be a driver and navigator also. Who will drive, who will navigate. All this would be discussed here. And along with this, it is very important to switch the roles on a regular basis, because if I am extensively writing code for next 10 years and you're just performing testing, it is like I am doing 90% of work and you're doing just the 10% of work, which is not proper, which is not valid, right? So with a regular basis, you should switch the roles. For 6 months, I will write the code, and for next 6 months, I will test the code. Next we have is communication. Again, communication is pretty important between the teammates, and because of communication only we can understand what the other person is saying, and this fosters collaboration also in our pair. Okay, then we have task selection. So it again depends on the people who have paired up. Okay, so if a pair is good at web development or the UI interface, they are good at developing UI interface, then they can take up a task related to that only. If it comes about the database, they may not be able to fetch that task, right? So again, the compatibility and skill also matters when it comes to task selection. Now looking at what are the potential challenges which could arise due to our pair programming. First one is over pairing. So if I have to write a triangle program, I need not pair people in that. No, I can just write it alone, right? So over pairing is not, over pairing could be a particular challenge. Then we have skill mismatch. Skill mismatch means suppose if I'm good at web dev and my other friend is also good at web dev, and we have to develop AI/ML application, then it won't be feasible, right? Because I don't have, nor my friend nor my other pair has knowledge and any knowledge about AI/ML. So there'll be a mismatch, right? So skill mismatch, proper team we have not formed. Then we have over or under communication. Over or under communication are two extreme scenarios which could happen when you are working in a team or a pair, because if I don't open up, if I don't talk, again it will be an issue. And if I talk too much and I'm not working, again that's again an issue. Then we have lack of switching. Lack of switching, as I said, 10 years I'm sitting and writing a code and you're just testing. Again, it is lack of switching. Then we have burnout. Burnout is again the same example only. Daily 14 hours I'm sitting and writing code, and whereas you're performing automation testing by using the tools within 2 hours. So there's excessive stress and pressure on me, whereas in case of you, you're easily doing it, right? So these are the potential challenges which have to be addressed while applying the pair programming. One more thing is, in pair programming or any other concept, if they ask for 10 marks, make sure you cover an example also. That is, write the same example. For developing an e-commerce website, I can pair the developer and the tester once, and I can pair a manager and a business analyst. So such type of pairing could be done, and depending on the skills also they could be paired. How to implement partially, you can take that example and provide a generalized statement for this. What is role management, what is communication, what is task collection. After that, in above example, from the context of above example, we can combine these two people as a pair, and then the roles could be so and so. Communication should facilitate between both of them in order to make sure that the website is working properly. Task selection, again depending on the pairs, tasks could be selected. What are the types of tasks? Write 5 tasks, here write 5 pairs, and then match it. Okay. One more thing, guys. This Agile being a theory subject, I would suggest you to draw diagrams or flowcharts or put boxes and represent it simple. Okay, by doing that, no page will be filled, and you'll be highlighting all the important points, so it will become easy for the evaluator to just go through the points, and he'll understand or she'll understand that we have covered all these topics in our description part. Because each and every answer, mostly questions would be of 10 marks, and each and every answer would take minimum of two sides, right? So yeah, make sure that you make use of diagrams or flowcharts to depict your topics. Okay. Next we have is factors leading to energized work in XP. So what are the factors which leads to energized work in XP? Energized work is a core principle in XP that emphasizes maintaining a sustainable pace and creating an environment where the team members can perform their best, most productive level. That is a healthy environment or a safe environment or a lively environment where I can give my 100% best, where I can work to my fullest potential. So in order to achieve this, let's look into what are the factors. First one is clear goal and vision. So a clear and a proper goal motivates the teammates to work, and they'll have a sense of purpose, right? Why am I doing this work? Why have I been allotted this work? Anta, he'll have a proper vision. Okay. Then we have a sustained pace. So sustained pace means it should not be like burnout for the employees, like sitting there for 14 hours and working on a project. If that is the case, no, the team might be able to work for 1 week. After that, they'll be like, "Nan kaya lagalla" anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Right. So the sustained pace should be maintained throughout the project. Okay. Then we have is work-life balance. So again, as I told, it is very important to manage both work-life balance. Burnout should not happen. So the employees should work for like 8 or 9 hours, and then rest of the time they can devote for their personal usage. Then we have is the healthy working environment. Healthy working environment is like your teammates should be supportive. There should not be any stress on you. Deadlines should not be there, or pressure from your boss. All those things should not be there. Then we have minimizing the distractions. Minimizing the distractions is if there are any interruptions happening among you while working, all those things should be minimized. And not just that, when it comes to entire team, bringing up while you're working on a project during the work hours, if you're discussing about something which is not relevant to your project, that can again be a distraction, right? Then we have support leadership. Support leadership means the project leaders and the managers who are there, those people should be supported by the workers or the employees, and it is vice versa also. Even the project team leaders, team managers should support their subordinates. Okay, by having this rapport among the team leader and the employees, it will create a safe environment where the employees can openly speak of their issues, and not just that, even they can work properly or give work efficiently. Then we have collaborative culture. Collaborative culture means pair programming or extreme programming, all those things could be used here. Okay, so collaborating between two different types of people, two different types of technologies, or it could be more than two also, working in groups. Okay, then we have regular breaks and downtime. So you cannot sit at system and work for entire 9 hours, straight 9 hours, right? So proper breaks should be given, refreshment zones should be there, relaxing zones should be there in your office. By obeying all these things, you can make sure that your employees are working properly. Then you have friendly teams. Friendly teams is again, if you have friendly people around you, people of similar mindset, you can be happy and enjoy working together with them, and have a strong sense of like you can be like, okay, this is my project, my team, I have to devote, I have to contribute. Strong feeling of feeling irutte. Moving further, we have why is it important? Why energized work is important? Energized work is important in order to maximize the productivity. That is, only when the employees are energized, only when the employees are having the spirit that they can give their fullest, that's when we can meet the maximum productivity. After that, we have sustainable performance. Sustainable performance is again, teams can continue to perform at high level over long periods, avoiding any burnouts or any stress or declining in the work quality. First 1 week, they'll work very good, and after that, working for 12 hours, they'll be tired, so the quality would decrease, right? So to avoid that, we can make use of energized works topic. Then we have enhanced team morale. So enhanced team morale means by having an environment where even if you commit a mistake, your teammates are there to help you, support you, and not criticize you, but then to work on it, to improve your mistakes. So that will have a team morale, that will improve the oneness feeling, right? Next we have is reduced errors and high quality. So when the environment is proper, the employee works properly, he'll devote all his brain and he'll put all his efforts in the workplace. So of course, high quality code would be generated. And if at all errors are occurring, then we can rectify those errors right then and there. Then we have increased innovation. As we provide a creative workspace for the employees, of course, it will impact or stimulate their creative outlook. So when creative outlook is stimulated, they can come up with better solutions. They can come up with creative solutions and contribute towards the project. Then we have improved retention and job satisfaction. Improved retention means I am working under a project and the project team leader is very strict and very khadus, and the working hours is for 10 hours, and once I complete this project, no, I'll be like, either I have to change the team or change the company. So instead of facing such situations, if energized work is implemented in the companies, they can have improved retention and job satisfaction. Even the people working among the company will have job satisfaction. Okay, that I have contributed in so and so task and I am satisfied with it. So that sense of satisfaction is pretty important for an employee, or in terms of organization also, that sense of completing the particular task is very important. And in order to keep that alive, keep that constant, energized work is important. Moving further, we have informative workspace. Informative workspace is again a 10-mark topic. So first topic we have is central hub. Central hub means informative workspace refers to a workspace where all of the teammates can come together, sit together, work together, and there are no barriers or restrictions at that particular workspace. This is an ideal workspace which would efficiently contribute towards the energized work. Okay, so firstly we have is the central hub. Central hub means it is like a meeting area where all the teammates can come together, sit together, have informal conversations, and during the informal conversations only, that's when the creative stimulation happens, where the person can contribute or come up with better ideas. Here it could be refreshment zones, or it could be a zone for a person to think, we can say, for central hub. Then we have dynamic development. So dynamic development occurs when we have the proper workspace, that is, all the facilities have been allotted to the workspace, and the proper ventilation, proper maintenance, and usage of all proper tools and equipments and all come under dynamic development. Then we have subtle clues for project health. Subtle clues for project health is like the atmosphere or the feel of the workspace conveys like a subtle yet crucial information about how the health of project is. Like a lively interactive room suggests that a healthy project would be going on. If the room is very quiet, dull, dark, then it'll not be that efficient, right? Then we have communication tools. Communication tools means we can make use of the whiteboards or the index or the notice boards, or there are many visual aids, right? You can make use of all of those, and then you can depict the information on the boards, through which your employees would be able to understand. They'll be able to read and understand, okay, all these things are happening. One thing, instead of going with the documentation, if you make use of visual tools, it will be easy for understanding. That is what our next point also speaks of. By making use of big visual charts, it will be easy for us to understand what our project status is, or what are we working on, and all of that. Then we have enhanced transparency and trust balance. So if there are no barriers, or if there are no covered cubicles between you and your teammate, you'll be able to interact with him or her properly, and by doing this, there'll be enhanced transparency. And if you're working in a team, if there are no barriers, or there are no cubicles around you, you'll get to know what your other employee is working. As a manager, I'll get to know what so and so person is working on, and by doing this, trust and balance is again a major issue which could be addressed. Then we have process improvement charts. Process improvement charts are a sort of update which are given weekly, which are given on the weekly basis, which depict how much our project has reached to a success, or how much success or how much errors have been rectified by our project, and all of that by our team. Then we have results and contradictions. So by having a proper informative workspace, we can discuss upon the results which we have come up with, and we can again further deduce the contradictions regarding it. And avoiding overuse and gaming. Avoiding overuse and gaming means if you have too relaxing atmosphere, too relaxing environment around your company, around your workplace, you'll end up shifting your concentration. So not just that, even too many charts or too much of visual appeal is again not good, because it might lead to confusion, right? Instead of understanding, I might get confused there. So this was about workspace. So whatever points I've covered, make sure that you write at least 4 to 5 lines of explanation for all of these points. even if you don't know any point, make sure you write A is B, B is A, B is A is B, same thing again and again and again. Okay. Next, moving on further, we have the root cause analysis. Root cause analysis is again an important question. This was asked for 10 marks in internals. So starting from the root cause analysis definition, it is a systematic approach used to identify the underlying cause of problem. There is a problem, you'll identify how the problem occurred. What is the root cause of that particular problem? That is what root cause analysis speaks of. The goal is to prevent recurrence by addressing the root cause rather than just treating them as symptoms. So when you start focusing on that root, why did it occur? What was the reason behind its occurrence? And how can I rectify it so that it doesn't occur in the further upcoming times? So that is our main goal. Okay. So how to find root causes? So in order to find root causes, I should ask multiple times how and why. How did the error occur? Why did the error occur? So by asking multiple times, I might understand the logic, okay, why it happened. When I understand the logic, it will be easy for solving it. Then no blame game. So if an error has occurred by a person, that is, if my friend has if my friend has done something wrong or some error has happened because of him, there should not be blame game there. Ninnindane idaitu, because of you are solely responsible for this and all of that. Instead, we should focus on the process, why it happened, how can we overcome it. Okay, that is one main thing. Okay. Next we have is collaborative analysis. Collaborative analysis is where all the teammates, all the business analyst, manager, and even the stakeholder comes together, sit and discuss as to why it happened. When we have different people from different domain, we'll get different insights. I might be thinking from one developer's perspective, but then the business analyst might have it from a different perspective, right? So considering all these perspectives again gives insight about the root cause. Then we have applying the root cause analysis techniques, that is fishbone diagram, root cause, description and all. So by making use of these tools, we can again come up with why it occurred. Then we have when to fix the root cause. So in order to fix the root cause, we should select which one is the most impactful one. So which one is the serious problem which has arisen. Only those problems need to be addressed first, right? So if I start addressing those which need not be of higher priority, if there is any problem of lower priority, that could be solved by a single person only. But then if it is very complex and serious, we have to prioritize it first. Then take solvable problem. There could be several problems where a solution is not known. So instead of breaking our head and finding solution as to why it occurred, why the problem occurred, we can move on with further part. Instead of wasting time and resources there, we can move on to further part and leave this part. That is, take only solvable problems which could be feasible, which you can easily solve, not easily, which you can, while working, you can easily decode it and solve it. Then we have this balance between improvement and overhead. Balance between improvement and overhead is like, while solving the root cause analysis, while finding the error, while finding the root for this problem occurrence, I will be skipping whatever the task is given for my this week's task, right? So by skipping this work, I'm doing this work, which is wrong again, right? So that's what it speaks of. I should balance the improvement and overhead also should be dealt. It should not be like first 8 hours I sat and did my this week's work, and next 8 hours I sat and did the development work. No, again that will lead to overhead. Why am I doing entire work? No, it should be properly divided. That's what overhead condition speaks of. When not to fix. When not to fix is over-engineering avoidance. Over-engineering avoidance means, again, as I told, when a simple problem can be solved by a single person, I need not create a fuss about it and like deploy more people and time and resources on it, right? Then is solving the problem really worth? There could be some problems which are not feasible enough from business perspective or from the user's perspective also. Such problems need not be solved. We need not find root cause analysis for such problems. We should focus on what is in our control. That is, as I said, there could be problems where a solution is not known. So instead of looking at such problems, because we should focus on what is in our control. This was about root cause analysis. Give an example for this and explain this. Okay, when we can solve, when we cannot solve, what is it, and how will we find the root cause? Okay. Next, moving on further, we have retrospectives. Retrospectives is simple terms are held by it is meeting. Okay, so meeting held by the teams to reflect upon their work process. So how much work progress, okay, how much they have worked in this particular week, and at the end of a project. Okay, so purpose is to identify what went well, what didn't, and how to improve. So how to conduct retrospectives. How to conduct retrospectives, only we have all these points. First one is the North Keth Prime Directive. So this directive speaks, this is a major principle you followed in the software engineering practices. So this directive speaks that instead of so we should have a positive and constructive environment among our workplace. Okay, firstly. Then, regardless of what we discover, we should understand and believe that everyone did their best job, which they could do, and somehow the error has occurred. So instead of playing the blame game, let's move further. No, let's find what the problem is and how to rectify it further. This was about the directive. Next we have is brainstorming. Brainstorming is when each and every person in the team sits and writes down whatever his thoughts are regarding the project, where he felt he has gone wrong, what was a mistake, and how can we rectify those mistakes. Brainstorming could also be writing down what are the things he or she did not like in that particular team, in that particular duration, and any suggestions or what to do in the further iterations. Then we have is mute mapping. Mute mapping is organizing the ideas silently into groups, okay, into related groups on a board. So this will help us visually to take the feedback without any discussion. And by looking at the board, it will be clear for the leader. Okay, so project did not work properly. Many of them have put towards the not work properly side. So it did not work properly. How will we clarify it further? So this will give a clarity to the team leader or the head, and it will reduce bias. Okay. Then we have is setting retrospective objective. So it is very important for each of the meeting to be held. Right. So this week, if we are conducting meeting, what is our aim? So having a fixed objective, having a fixed aim helps the team to sit together, focus on the issues which they have come up, and again discuss what would be the objective for the next iteration. Next part is follow-up. So as long as we are conducting the meeting, all these things should be considered. After conclusion of meeting, follow-up should be done. Follow-up means whatever the feedback or whatever the insights we have got in the meeting should be written down, and it should be inculcated in the project. Okay, so this was about the how to conduct retrospectives. Looking at the advantages is continuous improvement. As we have retrospectives, it will help us to grow, right, to discuss and come up with better solutions every week or every interaction. With every interaction we come up with better solutions. Then we have is team oneness. So this feeling of togetherness is developed when we openly discuss with our teammates. In order to discuss openly, we come up with retrospectives. Then we have is adaptability. Adaptability is by reflecting on the work which we have done and what to do further, we can easily adapt and we can make it more agile and more responsive. Right. Next we have is problem solving. When we are having retrospectives, we can identify the problems and further discuss on how to solve it. Next, what are the key points of retrospectives? First one is blame game. No blame game. Don't blame anyone. So what happened has happened. Now move on and make sure that you are working towards solving those errors. Good facilitator. Good facilitator is again an important key factor. So whoever is hosting the meeting, whoever is hosting the retrospectives should not be biased at all, firstly, and should be very calm, should also have authority over the people around in the meeting. They should not speak or blabber some shit there, right? So he should maintain that the decorum of the meeting is maintained. Then don't be strict. That is, again, when it comes to retrospectives, it could be informal at times, because when it becomes informal, a person might be able to put forth his or her ideas properly, but then it should not go overboard. The limit has to be maintained for this. So this was about retrospectives. Next, moving on to trust in XP teams. Trust and mutual respect in XP teams is a pretty important topic. That is one of the 5 key characteristics. It comes under one of the 5 key characteristics. Let's look into the points one by one. Trust in XP teams. So first we have is the group dynamics. So group dynamics, a team go through different stage of forming, storming and performing. So it is very important to have trust among the teams. That's when we can become proper. We can be productive. We can be open. So this group dynamics, partiality, teaming, all that should not be there. Okay. Then we have the next is open communication. So by having open communication among your teammates, you can easily say, okay, I had this problem, you had this problem. Okay, we can sit together, we can work on it, and we can come up with a solution. When you sit and openly communicate with the teammates, half of the problems are solved there. right? So open communication is again an important aspect for having or developing trust in your team members. Then we have is practice collaborative code ownership. Collaborative code ownership, as we discussed, any person can change any code, but then having that belief that whatever code I wrote yesterday is being changed by you. So if I don't have trust on you, will I let you change the code? No, right? So make sure that you're properly in touch with the person, you have a proper communication, you have good dynamics with the person. That's when we can practice the code, collaborative code ownership. Next, we have a safe environment. By providing a non-partial, friendly and non-judgmental environment, we can inculcate trust in our team members. Commit to continuous improvements. So even if a mistake happens, if the team members are committed to improving it, the team leader can have the trust among them. Okay, even though he has done this mistake today, I am sure that he'll improve it tomorrow. So that's what this speaks of. Then we have customer programmer bond. Customer programmer bond is like address the us versus them scenario. Okay, so customers and programmers should sit together. Programmers and testers should sit together, and then they should work together. Then we have team continuity. Team continuity means keep the teams together across multiple projects. It will help us to maintain the trust. Then eating together. A team which sits together, a team which eats together is a team which stays together. So simple. Then we have honesty. So if a task is not done, the team leader expects the team members to be honest and speak out the truth. When you speak out the truth, you'll maintain the trust. And if you're bluffing up, then of course you'll have to face the consequences further. Lead by examples. By making use of the famous use cases and the standard examples, we can again develop a sense of trust and mutual respect among the teammates. Utilize tools and practices. So we can make use of the tools existing which could foster the trust among the teammates. Along with the tools, there are a set of practices like being obedient and doing the work properly, taking the joint responsibility, trust in the organization, and all of that. We can make sure that there is trust maintained in the XP team. Then next topic we have is sitting together. Why is it important? Sitting together, why is it important, guys? I hope you can write it by yourself. Sitting together and having together, eating together, working together fosters communication. When communication is fostered, it can foster collaboration, and when collaboration is fostered, it will again lead to the productivity, increased productivity. But then there could be challenges. That is, if I sit together with my best friend and I'm not working properly, I'm just talking and talking and talking, again it is a problem. Then we have design workspace for XP team. So this is again an important topic. You can come up with various examples with your own imagination. You can draw the workspace and all. Yeah. So firstly we have is the open workspace. Open workspace means a workspace which has collaboration among teammates, and we can easily communicate with our teammates without any barriers. Next we have is the pairing stations. Pairing stations means where two people can come together, pair up and work together. Pair programming ella ide use madodu. Then we have personal cubicles. At times people do need their me time. So it is very important to have personal cubicles. So this will also help the people to focus on their individual work and storage of their personal items. Then we have seating flexibility. We have a seating flexibility. Seating flexibility means I can sit anywhere, I can work anywhere. It's not just confined to this table, right? So by doing so, I can, if I have to work with my partner who's sitting in some other corner, I can go there, sit and work. So depending on the configuration of team or the work which I've been allotted, I can do my seating accordingly. Then we have proximity and grouping. Proximity and grouping becomes easier. Proximity and grouping becomes effective when we are split, when we sit together. So if I sit together with my teammates, again grouping, it fosters the togetherness feeling, right? Then we should have whiteboard spaces. Whiteboard spaces are very important to note down the progress or any other factual or statistical data. Then we have sound isolation. Sound isolation is at times in group discussions, if we are in a meetings, if we are in GD rooms, we should make sure that outside noise is not disturbing us inside, right? So sound isolation is again important. Next, we should have a group discussion meeting room where the teammates can sit and speak or communicate properly. Along with this, even the visual charts could be used. By making use of visual charts, it becomes easier for us to understand the particular task and yeah, so that you can come up with any possible solutions, okay, any possible designing. So if you see here, I've written down all the desks have been like arranged this way, and here is the screen or the whiteboard, and here we have the rotatable screen, okay, projector, okay, rotatable projector screen, anything, and here is a middle table. So if employee sitting here can interact here, can interact here, can interact here, and can interact to the side also. He can have a direct view to the screen, and he can have a direct view to the whiteboard. He can have direct view to the screen also. So this is one possible workspace which was given in textbook. You can come up with any of it is open to you, your own imagination, creativity. Okay. Next we have is ubiquitous language. So it is how is it incorporated in our agile teams. So this language is a shared language which is used by the shared language or vocabulary which is used by the developers, testers, analysts, and the communication and to the customers. So this is usually used by the programmers and the domain experts. Okay. So this vocabulary is somewhat domain oriented. Okay. So if I'm working on a particular AIML project, then I'll be making use of several AIML terms, right? Several terminologies. So those terminologies could be termed as ubiquitous language. Okay, so these languages may not be understandable by the customer. So when customer comes and I'm explaining all these regression, all that stuff, he may not be able to understand it properly, right? So in order to incorporate this in our agile team also comprises of the users, the business people, and the customer. We'll look into how it is done further. What is the having a clear communication and understanding, I can foster the collaboration among our teammates. So by having a proper communication and understanding between the people, I can make sure that they are working together properly. Used to discuss the domains, technology, and concepts. Yeah, as I told. So in order to incorporate this language in our agile team, firstly, we have to engage our stakeholders. So right from the beginning of project only, we should make sure that stakeholder is with us. Even though he doesn't know those terms, technologies properly, we can conduct collaborative workshops, we can give user stories and make him or her understand about this language or the importance of this language. Then we have is documenting. So as and when we are coming up with new words, it has to be documented, put into a glossary, and then when it is updated, it should be reflected back again. Then we have training, onboarding, and visual aids. So training is pretty essential for all the employees, irrespective of whether you know the language or not. It is important to get trained. Onboarding a particular trainer who has sound knowledge about this particular domain, or a particular employee in the team could only be the onboarding person here. And then visual aids can again be used to update the employees on time to time basis about what the language is about, okay, or what the terms are about. Moving on further, we have daily stand-ups. Daily stand-ups only when a customer is made to work with a developer, he'll daily come across these terms, right? So when he'll daily come across these terms, he'll be able to understand it properly. So pair programming, and we encourage to use these words. Next, it is domain model. It reflects domain related concepts. Yeah, again, we select a particular domain and then we design the language here. So this was about the ubiquitous language. Let's move further. We have scrub meetings or stand-up meetings. Again, an important topic. So scrub meetings or stand-up meetings are daily meetings which happens for 15 minutes, and these meetings are used to give a quick update about the project status and the team's development. So that we have to ensure that the team is informed about the current progress and any issues, if there are any issues, that also should be discussed here. What is the purpose of stand-up meetings? Status update, that is each and every day at the end of the day, whatever work I have done should be updated to my boss. So in order to do that, we have stand-up meetings. Then we have obstacles. If there are any obstacles which I have faced during the working today, these obstacles should be discussed with the entire team. Then you have communication. Again, having a communication fosters collaboration and coordination among the teammates. Then what is the structure? The main motto for stand-up meetings is these three questions. What did I do yesterday? What will I do today? And what problems are preventing me from making the progress? By finding answer for these three W's, it will be easy for coming up with solutions. Next I have is how will I perform stand-up meetings? So before conduction of stand-up meetings, that is the preparation part, I should schedule a meeting and I should invite all the people who are there in the meeting. If it's a A team meeting, I need not invite anyone specially, because team members will know, right? Ivattu belegge 10 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ meeting ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. Then time limit has to be set. Usually it is 15 to 20 minutes. Then we have agenda for every day's meeting has to be set, and attendance should be made mandatory such that the teammates are attending the meeting. During the Scrum meetings, there has to be a Scrum master who will facilitate the smooth conduction of meeting. Then round robin format. Round robin format means all the employees should be made in the round robin format. Okay, so if I start with this person, then this person, then this person, again this person. That's how they'll speak and discuss. Okay, then after the conduction of meeting, follow-up should be there. So whatever the review or the feedback which you have got should be inculcated in your next day's activity. Then discussion. After taking the feedbacks, you should discuss it with your peers, with your employees. Like, okay, so I got this review, you got this review. How can we work together and come up with a better solution? Then refinement. Refinement is again the next step after communicating with after having a discussion. That is, you'll come up with better solutions to overcome this particular issue. This was about the stand-up meetings. Moving further, we have iteration demo. Iteration demo means project presentation. Simple. So demonstrate team's work and progress at every iteration. So we have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 of project review, right? So it is the same here. So here we have to maintain honesty and take the feedback. So if I have not worked on a project and I'm bluffing that, oh sir, I've done this, it may lead to problems in the future. And if I'm not done, I should be honest. I should tell my the panel that I've not done the work and take the feedback positively. So who are the audience? Audience here could be the team members, customers, or the higher management authority, higher management people also. The iteration demo should be of 10 to 30 minutes, and it should be for completed completed features. So this iteration demo should be conducted for the completed features. What changes we made, including how problems were solved, should also be discussed. So in the intro part, first you'll give the intro part, then feature show, what program you have done, you'll run the program, then handle Q&A, you'll handle the Q&A when the questions have been raised by the panel, and then final follow-up, final conclusion. So here key points are, be brief, don't drag it beyond 30 minutes, okay? Then start on time, okay? And release burn-up charts. By having burn-up charts, it becomes easy to understand the progress. Then build trust. So if you have trust among your team, it will be easy for iteration demo. So whatever you say, no, that I have completed 60% of work, sir, your boss will be able to believe if you have maintained that trust among your team. Then don't fake the progress. That's what I told, don't fake it, or else you'll have to face the problem further. Next we have is done concept. So statements like these could be used. This is just one statement. There are many other statements in each and every module. Make sure that you go through the textbook once. I would suggest you to just open it up and just brush through the textbook. Not study anything in particular, because you can make use of the VTU code or my notes for studying purpose. So this concept, a feature story is considered done when it is not just coded but fully ready for deployment. That is a functionality which is not just coded or tested, is completely ready. Tomorrow you want, I'll give you. So that's when done concept comes. This includes integration, testing, any necessary updates. So here checklist is, it has to be tested. Yes, it has to be coded properly. It has to be designed properly. It has to be integrated properly. The build should be obeying all the code quality. And then it should be able or compatible to install in the user system. That is, deployment is spoken of here. Then reviewed. This software should be reviewed by each and every stakeholder or the team heads and all. It has to be fixed if there are any errors, and it should be finally accepted by the company or the stakeholder. So this is the done concept. Then we have is version control. Version control is again an important aspect of XP. We know that when we are working on a particular project, the task is divided among teammates. I will do a particular task, you will do a particular task, but then how will we combine this? We will make use of version control here. So it is crucial for managing the source codes, tests, and other project artifacts. Okay, so they provide a central repository to put forth our project, and we can maintain a history of who has accessed the project and how is it being developed further. So this was about the version control. Version control is central repository will be there, team integration will be there, and it will also allow us to keep track of previous version was this. I have come up with an updated version. This is this. So here we'll come up with multiple concepts like repository, update, revert, rollback, branch, merge, and all of those. I hope you know all those definitions. Next, how can we make large design changes without its behavior? So in order to make large changes without affecting behavior, you can consider these following things. First one is use refactoring. Using refactoring, we can restructure the entire code without having to change the external behavior, because we are speaking of the behavior. No, we can just change the methods, or we can just change the code. Okay. Then coming up to leverage the design patterns. Like we can make use of the design patterns and structure it such a way that it becomes easy to modify. Then maintain backup compatibility. Maintain backup compatibility means we have to ensure that new changes do not break whatever is present. Right? If I started working on a project and I did some change and I'm not able to revert back, that is a loss for me. Right? Then utilize feature flags. Feature flags enable or disable features dynamically without deploying a new code. Yeah. To overcome this, we can make use of feature flags. Right? Comprehensive tests. Comprehensive tests would check everything properly. Like to the minute level also, it will make sure that the things are being tested properly. Okay. Then adapt incremental changes. So as and when changes are coming, even if it is small change also, I should start adapting it. Then use dependency injection. Dependency injection is it allows us to change dependencies without altering the core database. Then we have encapsulate the changes. So I have to hide the internal workings and change behind a well-defined interface. That is, I have to modify internal implementation details without changing or exposing to the external code. So this was about how to make changes, how can we make large design changes without its behavior, without changing its behavior. So this was about the third module, sorry. So we have looked into what root cause analysis is, how can we make large changes, yes. What are the techniques used to achieve zero bugs? In order to achieve zero bugs, we can make use of all the XP techniques only, like all the XP practices which we have discussed in second module. Same thing you can write here. Then how can we inspire the trust in team decision? Yeah, trust, same thing. Then pair programming we discussed, informative workspace we discussed, retrospectives we discussed, ubiquitous language we discussed, stand-up meetings we discussed, sample agile workspace also we discussed with an example. Then what are the factors that lead to energized work in a team? Yes, we discussed. What is test-driven development? Test-driven development is pretty easy, guys. So while writing the code, only you test first and then you further move on to developing the code. Okay, so you can expand this and write. You can make use of ChatGPT for finding answers for any of these questions, because it's the same, or you can go through the textbook also. So this was about third module. If you have any doubts, do let me know in the comments. And the fourth module would be updated by tomorrow, probably. Tomorrow morning, I'll upload the fourth module and fifth module. Stay tuned. As and when I complete the fourth module and fifth module notes, I'll upload it to the GDRIVE. So if you have any doubts, do let me know in the comments. And stay tuned. Thank you.